Today's video is inspired by a conversation I had last night, and this was about a person asking another person, so a youngish person, young person, early 20s, asking another person, 40s, like, how should I choose my career, or like, how should I go about getting experience, and how should I, like, what should I do for my life, basically. And then I thought, as I was there, and he said, you know what, if I could talk to my younger self, I would tell myself to not be so concerned with choosing the thing, with choosing the program, choosing the degree, the internship, the whatever it is, and instead concern myself with just learning as much as I can, like finding my own rhythm of learning, and like allowing that to guide me into discovering what I really desire to do and am passionate about doing. And then the younger person was lost in this conversation, but that's okay. The two of us older people were like, yeah, this is what we would do, and like, this is how, you know, we found ourselves on these different paths and these programs and these jobs and these things, and like, this happened and then that happened, and that's all part of the journey, you know. But hopefully this video and this blog post will help someone out there who is any age really, and just a little confused maybe about what to do, or just seeking some comfort and like-mindedness, and however you want to use this transmission here. And so I thought a bit more about this, and then I decided to write to my younger self. And as I was writing, I thought, like, would my younger self even understand this piece of writing? Because that's kind of the other piece of literature, is that there's the writer and there's the reader, and the message on each end is a bit different based on the interpretation of that passage. And so I thought, how would my younger self even interpret this? And then I didn't worry so much about that, and I started writing and came up with what is there on that blog. And I think it was very emotional for me to write that, because I just, like, I was reflecting on some points in my life where there were just challenges that I had to grow through, and it was, you know, there's moments of difficulty, there's moments of pain, there's heartbreak, there's growing, there's good moments, there's, you know, moments that we wish we could have had more of. There's all of these different pieces, and it really just, like, brought all those waves of emotions back. And then I thought, like, why am I trying to find a good light here? And then I thought a little less about, like, why am I experiencing these things, and just kind of wanted to flow through, like, less of why am I experiencing these things, and more of what am I experiencing, and how has this made me who I am today, and what have I learned at this point at 31 years of age, like, what do we know? And I thought it would also be cool to have this piece as, like, a timestamp of this is where you were, Sarah, at 31, and almost exactly 31, and And then to see, at like 40, 41, to see where I am then, and reflecting back on that and saying like, man, if only you knew this like later, because that's always the thing, And I feel like that's the biggest piece, is accepting yourself. Like, it's as simple as accepting yourself, because there's always more, right? There's always another step, there's always another thing to learn, there's always something else. And whenever you can just kind of get to a point where you're at peace with yourself, that's really when you're winning at life. When you find a point where things are just calm and you have a flow rhythm, and it's just like, it's just right. It's like this smooth wave, and you just try to maintain that for as long as you can until it's interrupted, either like positively or negatively, and then you try to find it again, and it's somehow different, because it's always somehow different, even though it's a constant state. That's like a feeling of being in that flow. But it's like this river of life, and you're flowing through it, and it's like this thing happens and that thing happens, and then you find a way to just kind of be okay with it all. And you find things to do during the day that make you happy, that make you money, that help you survive, and you just find a way to be happy each day. And that's, I feel like, the biggest thing that we can hope for in life, because that's really it. There's all of the things, but when we attach ourselves to those things, like I used to, when we attach ourselves like to the degree, to the certificate, to whatever it is, to like, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna get this degree, and then I'm gonna live. I'm guilty of that. I'm going to, build this thing, make my garden, and then I'm gonna be happy. Well, it's not over then, there's just another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. And that's why also with my content now, it's like I found this flow for creating that's like, okay, there's just going to always be more, and keep this up twice a week like we're going, and a few years we're just gonna have hundreds of pieces out here, and it's compounding, and it feels good, and it's working for me, slowly, gradually, building over time, like the water wearing away at the rocks. That's me, like slowly and surely, you can't really see it happening in the moment, but it just keeps like tick, 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 water like wearing away at that rock. And then the mosquitoes, can't see them and feel them either, but they're here, or hear them, you can feel them. It's like these weird silent mosquitoes. But yeah, that's kind of that is the goal. And I think what I was really thinking behind writing that piece. And I think that where it really challenged me to go was like something I've been experimenting with too a bit more, is like, how can I, with each piece that I create, like leave a piece of, like, each piece that I create is like a piece of my soul, my heart, like going into it, so that when I look back at my creations, even like these and like these videos, are kind of like a reflection, I guess, on my creation. I don't know, it all just works together. But I want, like, keeping in mind that there's like, it's not an end, it's just this is what I'm doing, and then being able to look back, and I want to be able to see this progress, because at some point I'll get to the point now where I'm like, man, I can't speak. Probably like, man, I desire to be at this point, like my goals for life and my brand and business and everything. And then at some point, with the slow and steady process, like at some point I'll get to that point, and I might not even realize when I got to it. Like, it's like, when we take things for granted, and we just get to a point where we accept them as part of our lives, and then look back and see like, oh, this was my process, my progress. And it's really cool with that consistent work to see the gradual increase. And I feel like that's tricky for some people because we want to see, we're really like programmed to want to see immediate results, and that's really never been my style. Not that I haven't ever desired that, but that's never worked for me. And this has, like, slow and steady, just like wearing away. That's always been my style. And I feel like that's what I was getting at too with this piece, is that it's like you just have to find your style and your way and your interests and what you're good at and like what lights you up, and you find a way to do that rather than looking at the external goal or program or thing and being like, okay, well, how do I get to this? Instead, you have like an intention of what you desire, and then you find your process, like things that feel good to do, and you just kind of keep working and doing the things. So I'm speaking very abstractly about this because it kind of is like you could use this for anything, like for language learning, or you can use this for like exercise, like martial arts and yoga, like in anything, and building a garden and anything. It's the same process. The mindset piece and the dedication piece and the work ethic piece, that's all the same. It's just funneled through different lenses. And so you find a way that you can continually keep going and making progress, and you keep adjusting and refining and making it more you and more what you desire, and keep reassessing and recentering, because what you want changes over time as well. So that's where you can't just say like, oh, I want this thing, I want this goal, I want this thing, this path will lead me to this, bam, done. Because even if you wanted it in that moment, even if it was like, oh wow, this will work for me in this moment, chances are it's not going to work like a year in, a few months in, because we change as we progress. So that's why that constant self-awareness and self-assessment is a necessary part, because if we are like in a constant state of being aware and adjusting and also moving, it's a lot of things to manage all at once. And I think maybe that's why it's a bit of a slower process, but it's faster in the long run because you build such a solid foundation. And that's what throws a lot of people off, is that like slower in the immediate sense, faster in the long run, and all of those pieces to manage. But yeah, if I had to talk to my younger self, that this is what I would say. And I guess just like seeing this video, this is what I would do. Like I would take this and I would like send it back in time and be like, look, this is you now. And I think just seeing this person, like this version of myself today, younger me would be like, whoa, how do I get to this point? Like this is a moment of, oh, look, I actually have done so much. I actually have come so far already. Let me not take this for granted, because there was a point in my life where this was what I desired. And it's important not to forget that. So now we've come full circle. And we're going to end on this note. So Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys back here Monday, Thursday. There's a vlog as well, and if you have not subscribed already, make sure to do that so you can catch these new videos when they come out. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment, if you want to tap on the buttons, anything down below, say hello. Be happy to respond and checking those. And that is it. Bye guys.